Diesel, the Devious Diesel, was rolling along the line. He was making a delivery of diesel fuel to the diesel works. But as he was making his way towards the point, he saw Percy up ahead blocking the line. Diesel stopped. He couldn't get through. Get out of the way, Percy. You're in my way.
I can't. There's no need to be rude. The trucks have been playing tricks and I've come off the rails. Stupid things.
Hey, don't call us stupid.
Yeah. Move aside and I'll be on my way.
You'll just have to wait. Gordon hasn't arrived with the breakdown crane yet.
Sorry, Diesel. You'll just have to wait. Diesel was cross. Soon, Gordon brought the breakdown crane as Rocky was unavailable. And soon, the trucks were back on the rails.
Thank you, Gordon.
No problem, Percy. And why can't you trucks just behave? Yeah, I thought so. You'd best get on your way, Percy.
Alright, bye, Gordon.
Diesel watched as Percy set off with his trucks. He was still cross. Percy isn't getting away with this. I'll pay him back. Somehow. The next day, Percy was talking to Thomas when the Fat Controller arrived to see Percy.
Percy, I would like you to help Rosie to shunt trucks at the docks.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Rosie has gone to collect more trucks, so she'll be back to help you.
Then the Fat Controller left. Percy set off for Brendan Docks. Little did Percy know, Diesel was watching. He had come over with a devious trick to pay Percy back. He oiled away. Thomas saw him leave. He became concerned.
What is Diesel up to now? No good, I'll bet.
He's better not cause trouble. He's such a jerk.
Later, Diesel arrived at the docks before Percy did. He looked around. Rosie wasn't there either. Diesel knew she would be back soon. He then saw a line of trucks. Rosie had shunted them into place. Perfect. Diesel checked to see that no one was looking. Then, he biffed and bashed Rosie's trucks off the tracks. He looked again. No one had seen what Diesel had done. Not even Cranky. He was still sleeping. Right, now to let my trick fall into place. And Diesel oiled out of the docks. A little later, Percy puffed into the docks ready for work, when he noticed the derailed trucks.
Bust my buffers! What's happened here?
Just then, Rosie arrived. When she saw the truck she had shunted earlier derailed, she was cross.
Percy, what do you think you're doing? I just shunted those.
Rosie had thought Percy pushed the trucks off the tracks. Percy was very puzzled.
What? What are you talking about? The trucks were derailed when I got here.
Oh yeah, sure, and you were the only engine who was coming to help me. And now look what you've done.
But I didn't derail the trucks.
I'm going to tell the Fat Controller about this.
And Rosie chuffed away.
But Rosie, I'm telling you the truth. I had nothing to do with this.
But it was no good. Rosie had already gone. Percy was now worried. Rosie soon returned with the Fat Controller, but he was not happy.
I am very disappointed in you, Percy. I can't have careless engines who don't do their jobs properly.
I spent ages shunting those trucks and you ruined it.
But I didn't.
I am not interested in excuses, Percy. You will go back to your sheds until I think you can be trusted again.
Yes, sir.
Percy pulled sadly away. Diesel had seen the whole thing. He was pleased. That will teach Percy not to mess with me. and Diesel oiled away to the smelter's yard to see his diesel friends. Percy was puffing sadly back to the sheds, but when he got to the sheds, he didn't stop. He just continued on.
No one believes me. I'll just run away and never come back.
And with that, Percy continued on away from the sheds. Mavis, who was idling nearby, heard Percy and was very worried.
Why does Percy want to run away? I'd best go after him and see what's the matter. I'm sure I can help.
Mavis set off after Percy. Meanwhile, Rosie was at the smelter's yards to collect some iron. Before she puffed up to a train, she overheard Diesel laughing. She couldn't help but listen. Then, I bumped Rosie's trucks off the rails, and when Rosie came back, she thought Percy caused the accident. Oh, you should have seen the look on Percy's face when he got told off by the Fat Controller. Priceless. Totally worth it to pay Percy back for delaying me yesterday. Diesel and the other Diesels laughed, but Rosie was shocked, and all of a sudden, she felt so upset. She raced out of the smelter's yard as quickly as she could, but she didn't take the iron with her. Mavis was still searching for Percy. She was worried.
Percy can't have gone far. I hope he's alright.
Then Mavis looked ahead, and there was Percy. He had run out of water and was cold and lonely. Mavis rolled alongside.
Percy, what's the matter? Why did you run away?
Because no one believes me.
About what?
Percy explained everything about what happened at the docks. Mavis was both shocked and a little cross.
That's not like Rosie. She's using an understanding engine. Something must have happened to her early before she saw that accident.
Percy just sighed. Mavis still wanted to help Percy.
Look, I'll try and help you and find out what really happened. Come on now, I'll take you back to Tisma's sheds.
Meanwhile, Edward was passing by Tisma's sheds when he heard something.
Hello? Is somebody there?
Edward looked, but he couldn't see any engine anywhere.
Edward, is that you?
Yes, it's me. Who's in there?
Rosie bravely puffed out the sheds. Edward could see Rosie was crying.
Rosie? What's the matter?
Oh, Edward, I've made a terrible mistake.
Why? What happened?
Well, earlier today, when I came back to the docks, I thought Percy derailed my line of trucks I shunted earlier. Then I told the Fat Controller about this and he was cross at Percy. And then at the smelter yard, I overheard Diesel talking and said he bumped the trucks off the line just to get back at him for something that happened yesterday. Now, I feel so bad. I'm sure Percy will never forgive me.
Edward was shocked. He could see that Rosie was very upset. He was now cross about Diesel.
Why, that big fusspot. Wait till I get my buffers on him.
At that moment, Mavis arrived with Percy. Rosie quickly backed into the sheds, frightened.
Rosie, you've got some explaining to do. Why?
Easy, Mavis. Don't be harsh on her. Rosie has learned from her mistake, but she had to find out the hard way.
Why? What happened?
Edward explained to Mavis and Percy what Rosie told him. Mavis could see Rosie felt very terrible. Percy managed to speak.
You mean to tell me that Diesel did it just to pay me out, just because I delayed him yesterday?
Pretty much. I know how you feel, Percy. I'm cross too. But right now, Rosie just needs help to get out of this situation.
Just then, Edward saw Thomas puffing along the line.
Thomas, stop! We need your help!
Is something wrong, Edward?
Yes, there is. I need you to pass this message to the Fat Controller.
What is it?
Edward told Thomas everything about Diesel's trick.
Of course, Edward. I'll go and find the Fat Controller right away.
And Thomas set off at once. Mavis decided to try and talk to Rosie as calm as she could.
Rosie? Rosie, can you come out, please? We just want to talk.
For a few moments, Rosie didn't say anything. But at last, she puffed out of the sheds. Mavis smiled.
There now, Rosie. It's okay. We're not cross with you. However, we just want to know, before you came back to the docks, did anything happen that put you in a bit of a mood? Because I know that if an engine is angry, something must have made that engine upset. Well, as a matter of fact, yes. I was on my way to pick up more trucks for the docks. This blue diesel came up to me and said I was a useless pink puffball. That hurt me inside. It made me cross. Oh, Percy. I'm so sorry I got you into trouble. I know you didn't cause the accident. I shouldn't have taken my anger on you. Can you ever forgive me?
After hearing the whole story, and how Percy could see how sorry Rosie was, he smiled.
Of course I forgive you, Rosie.
Rosie gave a small smile.
Thank you, Percy.
Let's all hope Diesel gets what's coming to him.
Back at the smelter's yard, Diesel was still talking to the other Diesels when Thomas arrived. Diesel didn't expect to see Thomas here. "What are you doing here, Thomas?" Thomas didn't answer. He just glared at Diesel. Then the Fat Controller stepped down. He was furious.
Diesel, you have caused a great deal of trouble. I'm very cross with you.
Diesel gasped. His trick was found out.
I am sending you to work at the waste dump, and you will stay there until you prove yourself to be really useful. Do you understand?
Diesel gulped. Yes, sir. And Diesel went sadly away.
Good riddance. I couldn't agree with you more, Annie.
Thomas was happy that Diesel was once again punished. And with that, Thomas and the Fat Controller left. Back at Timber's sheds, the engines were still talking. Rosie was feeling much better. Then Thomas puffed in. The Fat Controller stepped down and spoke to Percy.
Percy, I'm sorry for thinking you caused the accident. I was wrong to think that.
It's okay, sir. Diesel is really to blame.
Well, you'll be happy to know I've sent Diesel to the waste dump, where he'll do no harm.
Percy smiled, and so did the other engines.
With Diesel stuck at the dump, the other Diesels won't be as troublesome now.
Oh, for goodness sake, you stupid trucks!
I guess we'll still have to put up with the trucks.
You're right there, Rosie.
And all the engines laughed. But Gordon completely misunderstood.
What on earth are you laughing at? I just derailed!
Poor Gordon. Well, I think we've all learned something here. Never jump to conclusions. Otherwise, you could be making a mistake and it can hurt your friend's feelings. Well, that's the end of the story and this series. But don't worry, we shall see you in a brand new series in the near future. Until then, goodbye for now.